Hey there, you with the stars in your eyes. My name is Kiris, and you are listening to The Essential 7 Superpowers for our new week ahead in astrology. Starcasting to you from the City of Angels. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. This is your astrology cosmic superpower for the week beginning Sunday, July 13th through Saturday, July 19th, 2025. Let's journey together with astrology and explore how to connect with the stars, the planets, the energies for our new week ahead. Sunday, the Sun's Day, July 13th, superpower number 1. Do not burn bridges behind you. End the relationship with kindness and compassion. We are starting off the week with the moon in mutable water Pisces, making a square to the planet Uranus in mutable air Gemini. The moon square Uranus in the mutable signs of the zodiac, which means things are morphing and changing. It's time for a change. Moon in Pisces being what you want and how you feel emotionally. This is the water making this square to the planet Uranus, which is a separation, a divorce planet in mutable air Gemini, which is a change of mind. This is a relationship, whether it's romance, business, friendship. It's a relationship coming to a close, and it could be a very sudden change of heart and mind for you, what you're thinking, what you're feeling. But when you do end the relationship, don't burn bridges behind you. Try to end the relationship, if you possibly can, with kindness and compassion. Just ghosting someone, ending something, and disappearing without an explanation, without thank you very much. There's always gratitude for the lesson learned, whether it was a great relationship or not, and wishing someone well. This is the way to go with this cosmic energy today, because again, this sudden change of how you feel and what you're thinking, and making a very abrupt ending with the moon square Uranus in mutable signs of the zodiac. It's always a better way, a higher way, a cosmic superpower to end the relationship with gratitude, kindness, and compassion. Monday, the moon's day, July 14th, superpower number 2. Ask, believe, and expect to receive. We have a sublime mutual reception today in the element of water. We have the moon still in Pisces, ruled by Jupiter, making a water trine flow to Jupiter exalted in Cancer. Cancer goes with the moon, Pisces goes with Jupiter. So this mutual giving and receiving is asking for what it is that you truly care about, what you love. This is the moon, something that you care deeply. And Jupiter is the faith, the belief that it's going to happen, and it will. Also, Jupiter goes the distance, goes long term. So something that you've been wanting and you wanted to last, you wanted to keep going and lasting forever. This mutual reception here in the element of water, this is where all of your emotion and feeling and the energy of emotion is to ask, be open to receiving, and mostly believe that you will receive and it is going to happen. Also on this Monday, we still have the moon in Pisces making a square aspect to Venus in mutable air Gemini. Moon in Pisces makes an inconjunct aspect of a frustration trying to make the changes and adjustments between how you're thinking with a lot of fire and impatience and the moon in sensitive Pisces. We then have the moon in Pisces making an opposition aspect to Mars in its joy in mutable earth Virgo. These aspects are connected to this lovely, sublime mutual reception that we have, meaning if you have been trying to solve a problem for a long time, sometimes, especially with this supportive mutual reception, if you just let it go and trust and believe that the problem will be solved, it will be presented to you. This is what's happening with all of these other aspects connected to the mutual reception. Just let it be and trust so that the problem can be solved and the solution will be presented to you. The water mutual reception is also connected to healing. Water is a very addictive element in astrology. So if you've been praying for your own healing to be there as far as overcoming some type of addiction, or if you've been holding positive, beautiful thoughts for someone else to heal, overcome an addiction, spontaneous healings do happen. It seems like a miracle, but it does and can take place. Tuesday, Mars's Day, July 15th. Superpower number 3. Know how to discern the difference between the pain of grief and the pain of trying to fill a void. We have the moon still in Pisces today, making a water trine flow to the sun in Cancer. The two lights, the two luminaries, the sun and the moon, are in supportive harmony. This is when the alignment, the clear channel alignment of your mind and your heart, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, the masculine and the feminine, the inner and the outer, they are balanced and in harmony. This open, clear channel ready for manifestation between the sun and the moon. This is when you want to know that you've gotten over a certain heartbreak. You've done the grieving work, whether it's the heartbreak of a relationship, a career situation that didn't work out. We do heal after some type of loss in life. That is the grieving process that is necessary to grieve a loss. Now, the pain you may be feeling, and this is the superpower of knowing how to discern between the two, the pain you may be feeling today is not because you haven't healed, not because you haven't grieved a loss, but because you are feeling the pain of a void that needs to be filled in your life. This is where the sun and moon's clear channel of manifestation is saying, as a cosmic superpower, what void are you trying to fill? You've grieved and gotten over a broken heart. Now the pain of the void can be, well, you would love to come in again. Or you've grieved career disappointments, and now this clear open channel between the two luminaries is highlighting from the cosmos, well, what new dream career goals, achievement, and success would you like to manifest? So it's very important to not get confused and know the difference between grieving a loss, which is human, natural, and necessary, as opposed to the pain of that there is some void, some space that needs to be fulfilled in the sun and moon trine. In the element of water, the soul's expression is in the sign of Cancer. This is something that you care about and want to bring in. The moon is what we want, what we need, what we're hungry for. So know what the void is. Be able to pinpoint exactly, target the void, and that is where you want to fulfill and have this balance between the sun and the moon. Manifest it for you in your life. Sun and moon trine, always a beautiful aspect to have. Target though where the pain of the void is, not the grief that you've already gotten over. The soul's expression in the sign of Cancer is the connection, the closeness, the caring. The heart is resilient and does bounce back. It is indomitable and always holds space to love and be loved. That's what the heart is. Find out what you love and fill the void with love. We are not supposed to stay in grief forever. Yes, there is a certain time of grieving that is appropriate and natural. It wouldn't be human and natural to not grieve a loss. But if you've kept yourself stuck there in grief, and if it's through the loss of someone that has died, I can assure you that they don't want you to keep grieving forever and forever. They're not suffering anymore. You are, and they love you and do not want you to keep suffering and to keep grieving. They want you to stop remembering them as sad and suffering. That is not a way to honor their memory. They are happy. They want you to be happy too. Wednesday, Mercury's Day, superpower number 4. Do not bite off more than you can chew. What's happening today on Mercury's Day is that we now have the moon in cardinal fire Aries, and the moon in Aries is making a square aspect to Jupiter exalted in Cancer. Whenever we have the moon and Jupiter making connections, relationships to each other, this is wanting it all, wanting it big over the top, and with the moon in Aries, wanting it yesterday if possible. This is a great impatience as far as something that you want. And with the blending of the Aries fire, Cancer's water, this is potentially very stormy and dramatic, potentially ruining a wonderful opportunity that could go the distance. Jupiter just keeps going if you are not patient and willing to wait a bit. Now, Aries and Cancer, they're both cardinal signs of the zodiac. They want to initiate and lead, get something started right away. But if and when out of the moon in Aries impatience, if you take on too much, make promises you can't keep, then you get the feeling of being overwhelmed because you bit off more than you can chew. This is where the blending of fire and water can get quite combative and stormy, and a wonderful, potentially beautiful thing in your life can get ruined if you promise too much too soon and put a time on it where it will get done right away. In other words, don't overwhelm yourself, because if and when that happens, then the moon in Aries, which is the newborn baby, starts to get cranky, starts to cry, kicks up a fuss, throws a temper tantrum. Moon in Aries, and this is not the way to go. So your superpower is do not bite off more than you can chew in the area of moon squared Jupiter. It is something that you really, really want, but let everything just work itself out in its own good time. Be patient. Things always have a way of working themselves out. But if you, again, rush yourself, put too much on your back, begin to feel overwhelmed, we know what the moon in Aries is capable of doing. Moon in Aries gets fired up, picks a fight, starts a battle, and then the whole thing is very explosive and stormy with the blending of fire and water. We also have the moon in Aries making a sextile aspect of opportunity to Uranus in mutable air Gemini, a conjunction to Saturn in Aries, a conjunction to Neptune in Aries. The moon makes a sextile aspect of opportunity to Pluto retrograde in Aquarius, and a sextile aspect of opportunity to Venus in mutable air Gemini. These aspects here with the blending of fire and air, this is a lot of potential and very exciting opportunities and potential with the element of fire and air. Just be patient and don't take on too much, because you're trying to rush something that should not be rushed. And patience is one of the ultimate cosmic superpowers. People don't like to wait. We want that immediate gratification, just like the moon in Aries, but it can really sabotage, if we're not careful, fabulous opportunities that want to come into your life. Thursday, Jupiter's Day, July 17th, superpower number 5. Do not give a definitive yes or no. Don't speak. Don't make that verbal commitment. What's happening today is that we have the planet Mercury stationing retrograde. Mercury is taking a pause and needs to take a break. Mercury is always moving and giving and receiving messages. Well, when Mercury stations, and I give it about a 24-hour period, when Mercury stations before it changes directions, meaning before Mercury goes retrograde, this obviously is not the time to give a definitive answer, to not say yes or no, because it will be reversed when Mercury starts to move again. Mercury's at a station, a rest stop. Give it a breath. Let it take a moment. Just pause and think before you give that verbal commitment, yes or no, sign on the dotted line. Just wait. The planet Mercury is designed to move. Mercury is very frustrated having to take a breath and to pause, because that is not the function of Mercury. Mercury is designed to receive and deliver the message. But when it is stationing, just pause and wait. The message will be delivered. The message will be received. Let Mercury take a breath and take a break, because our minds are in overdrive most of the time anyway. Today we also have the fourth quarter moon at 25 degrees Aries, this crossover point where we are now starting to journey towards the new moon. The moon in Aries makes a fire trine flow to Mercury in Leo and in conjunct to its ruler Mars in its joy in Virgo. And the moon in Aries makes a conjunction to Chiron, the wounded healer in Aries. Friday, Venus's Day, July 18th, superpower number 6. Be open to listening to the other person's side of the story. Mercury in Leo is now retrograde, and the Mercury in Leo makes a sextile aspect of opportunity to Venus in mutable air Gemini, ruled by Mercury. This is the Mercury retrograde when we go back and look over something a second, third time, maybe even more. This is an opportunity to give a situation a second and third look with the open-mindedness of Gemini to learn something new, look through the lens of a new and different perspective, and see both sides of the story. This is the Mercury sextile Venus in Gemini. It's an opportunity to go back and reconsider a relationship and hear the other person's side. We also have the moon now exalted in Taurus, ruled by Venus, making a square to Pluto retrograde in Aquarius. And the moon exalted in Taurus makes a sextile aspect of opportunity for healing to Jupiter exalted in Cancer. With Mercury retrograde, this always brings people from the past that want to reconnect to you. You will hear from them, and if you're open to receiving and willing to hear their side of the story, this can be a wonderful opportunity for healing, along with the moon exalted in Taurus making this healing aspect to Jupiter exalted in Cancer. So at least with the Mercury retrograde, that tends to get a bad reputation. It's not always a negative thing. It can be the going back, the reversal, the looking at a situation through a different lens and hearing different facts about what really happened in connection to relationship because of that sextile of opportunity to Venus and Gemini. Friends, love, relationship, business situations, be open-minded enough with this to at least let the other person air out what they have to say, and the opportunity, the sextile, can be here for you for wonderful healing and peace of mind. Mercury, Gemini is eternally curious, wants that information. So you could find out that there was a missing piece of information that is crucial when we're willing to listen, be open-minded to get the truth and the facts. Saturday, Saturn's Day, July 19th, superpower number 7. Lose yourself, immerse yourself in the work that you love. The moon is exalted in Taurus, fixed earth Taurus. The moon exalted in Taurus, ruled by Venus, cannot get enough of the work that it loves to do. The moon is an emotional need. I always say, feed your moon for happiness and contentment. Now, with the moon exalted in Taurus, making an earth trine flow to Mars in its joy in mutable earth Virgo. This is the energy. This is the productivity of working at work that you love. And as we know, when it is work that we love, it's not work at all. There is a sense of timelessness, almost an altered state of consciousness when you immerse and lose yourself in the music, in the work, what it is that you love to do. Now, with this moon trine Mars in the element of earth, the Mars in its joy in Virgo has the energy and the ability to cut through all of the extraneous things connected to your work that really aren't necessary and important. Virgo is the process of purification. Virgo separates and takes away what is false, what is fake. Just like when we watch the symbol of Virgo, the maiden separating the wheat, what is healthy, from the chaff, the poison. So this process of the work that you are doing with the moon trine Mars in Earth is taking away separating from the Mars in Virgo, and Mars cuts things away. In its joy in Virgo, it actually takes away what you are doing in your work that is not authentic to you, that is not pure, that is not healthy, and that which is not really you. Through the process of being devoted to the work that you love, what's actually happening here is that you are in the process of healing yourself, healing others, weaving your spirit into the work that you do, and getting to a place of authenticity through the channel of work. Losing yourself and immersing yourself in work that is a devotion is not only healing for yourself and others, it's taking that away which blocks the true light, the meaning and purpose, your specific light, authentic to you, that you are meant to shine through the work that you do. If and when you've ever heard someone say, but I don't know what it is that I want to do, if you've said it yourself, if you've heard other people say it, I hear it all the time as a professional astrologer, that is a cosmic question. That's not a career question about making money. That is a cosmic soul question, because the frustration of that is the person trying to find out not only what they would love to do as a work, but we know on a level, a soul level, that the work that we want to do and are meant to do, it helps others. This is what Virgo does. It wants to help, it wants to heal, and it contributes in giving something back to the world. And it is just not natural to our nature to not give something back, to not at least want to contribute something back. So when someone says, but I don't know what it is that I want to do, that is not a surface level question. It's a cosmic soul question. So as we are closing out the week with this moon exalted in Taurus, which is doing the work you love and not being able to get enough of it, making an earth trine flow to Mars in its joy. Now, Mars in its joy in Virgo is ruled by Mercury. How to help you find that answer, because the cosmos is always guiding and loving you and has your back. This is putting a spotlight on try different things. Virgo, ruled by Mercury, is willing to try different things and change if you're not feeling it. You can try multiple different things until you get to that place where you know this is the work that you're supposed to do. There will be no question, no doubt about it. But with the moon trine Mars in its joy, if you don't feel like you have the answer to that question, then let Mercury be your guide. Mercury is the guide that travels to the underworld, the deepest part of our psyche, and where the shadow is, and then comes back with the gold. Mercury is the traveler, the guide that brings us home to that true, authentic self, where you will find the soul's purpose, the work that you love. This is yet another positive potential with Mercury retrograde to go back and find what that is for you. Thank you, everyone, for being here and listening to the Voice of Astrology podcast. These are your 7 superpowers for the week. Have a fabulous week. I will see you all in the stars.